Hello, Facebook. We are back for day 2. Give me just a minute so I can get on Facebook. I'm sorry, Instagram. And then we will get started. Uh-oh. All right, Instagram. So I got the gram here. I got Facebook right here. And I got my book, Essentialism. This is what we're going to be talking about today because we are on day 2 of this 30-day, hey Jessica, of this 30 days of content challenge. Hold on, give me a second because my setup is not good today. Okay, all right, I see y'all hopping. Oh, hold on, I'm dealing with a whole situation over here. Let me get my life, y'all. Okay, I think I might have it. Please don't fall again. Thanks for the hearts, y'all. I appreciate it. Okay, so we are on day 2 of our 30 days of content challenge. And I made a post this morning and I referenced something that I talked about yesterday. So yesterday I talked about the Hot Mess Express and basically how that was my life as a designer. So I'm a self-taught brand and web designer. That's kind of a fancy way to say graphic designer, but I do a little bit more than graphic design. Hold on, my connection is bad. Okay. All right. Y'all, all the difficulties today. What in the world? All right. So yesterday I talked about how I was on the Hot Mess Express. And so as a new designer, as you know, like we as designers start businesses because we like to design, right? And we don't really like take into account or really fully understand all the things that go into the design business. So the business side of it. And that ultimately is kind of what led to me being on the Hot Mess Express in my business. So just doing all the things for no real rhyme or reason, working around the clock, like priorities non-existent. So today, let me pull it up. So I posted some of my favorite quotes from the book, and I want to chat about them. So yesterday I mentioned priorities and just kind of how we stay on this Hot Mess Express because we don't really have our priorities in place, and we're not fully understanding like what it takes to be successful in our business because we think I just got to go 110% in on my business, but then we kind of like drop the ball with everything else in our lives. So there's like no harmony, right? There's no harmony. So if you're in your business and you're feeling like, gosh, man, like all I do is work, this is going to be a good conversation for you today. And in fact, I would definitely, suggest you pick up this book. I think I might even do a giveaway, y'all. Should I do a giveaway of this book? Because it has been so profound for me and just creating structure and creating simplicity in my business so that I can strategically grow. So if you are interested, here's what I'm gonna do. I am gonna give one copy away. So if you watch this video and you would like a copy, I'm gonna do a drawing. So DM me book. You don't even have to spell out essentialism. DM me the word book and I'm gonna enter all of you guys who DM me into a drawing, and then I will do, what's today? Thursday. I'll do it tomorrow. I'm gonna pick somebody tomorrow and I'm gonna give this book away. So let's go ahead and dive into some of these quotes because y'all, this book really, really is life-changing. So let me pull my post up so I can get the quote right, or the quotes right. One of them, though, one of my favorite quotes, though, was a couple of them, and they're like really short ones. So, done is better than perfect. That is definitely one of the quotes. And I will say, like, once I really started leaning into done is better than perfect, things just kind of started changing for me because I was taking unnecessary pressure off of myself. So when we're out here trying to do everything perfect, or we're waiting for everything to be perfect, we're really creating an environment for like stagnation, right? Because you are not doing the things, you're not even thinking in the way you need to in order to make progress or move forward in your business. Okay. Let me see. Hey, Cherie. I think my internet is not working on my computer because Instagram's not coming up. Instagram ain't broke today, is it? Don't be a perfectionist, Rob. Yes, I know it's so hard. And like, as designers, I'll tell you guys. So I transitioned from stationery so 2016 is when I decided I wanted to transition. And so it took me from the summer of 2016 to the spring of 2017. So summer, I think it was June or July, all the way to April 26th. I remember because that's my oldest son's birthday. And that's when I launched my branding company. So I pivoted from stationery, wedding stationery, to branding. And it took me that long to launch the branding piece because I was like, oh, this has to be perfect. If I want someone to hire me, then my stuff has to be on point. And that was that kept me stuck for almost a year. Just that mindset of thinking it had to be perfect. So really understanding where to put your focus and understanding what are the things that are actually going to move your business forward versus what we're doing that is just taking up time, that's keeping us busy, right? Like one of the quotes in here as well is, don't be busy, be productive. Like, who wants to be busy? And we take so much, like we're in this hustle culture, right? And so everything is, you always got to be doing something, do more, right? But that is the opposite of this. Yeah, so Cherie, wow, that's the mindset transition for me now. When you guys can make that shift that you shouldn't be doing everything, it's going to make your life and your business so much simpler because it gives you permission to not do all the things. Okay, so my internet finally started working. So let me pull these quotes up. So I had 7 up here. I'm just going to kind of run through each of them. And definitely, if you haven't seen these, go to my last post and let me know which number like resonates with you. And you can let me know here as well. But number 1, so these are the quotes that I really just love from this book, Essentialism. And they have like, let me show you. They have some graphics in here, which we can appreciate as designers. One of them, and there's like, let's see, hold on. It's a fun, this one, this graphic right here. Do y'all see this? So, this is the model, like this is how essentialism was created. So right here, this is our current approach when we try to do everything. It's called Essentialism by Greg McKeown. And I'm gonna give away a copy of this book tomorrow. So if you want to be entered into that, DM me the word book. And then tomorrow I'll announce who won. But in here, he goes through this model of kind of non-essentialism. So what does that mean? You're focusing on everything. You're trying to do everything. Everything is important. That is the non-essentialist way of thinking. Everything gets a yes. Everything is important. Thanks, Julia. Versus the essentialist. So you can just see from the diagram, someone who thinks everything is important, they're going to have chaos because like you can't do everything, you guys. But when you can focus on only the essential, only the things that are going to move your business forward, woo, that is when strategic growth happens. So I do want to read, there's like a little chart I do want to share with you guys. So the essentialist versus the non-essentialist, how do they think? Number 1, this is huge. Mindset, you guys, is going to be the key to your success. I love it because we have some prep school students in here and they're already having huge mindset shifts and they've only been in the program 1 week. 1 week, you guys, your success is dependent upon your level of awareness, consciousness, and your mindset. Okay, so this book can absolutely help you with this. That's why, when did I read this? I read this book in 2018. And that's the year, you guys, that really everything started to change for me, okay? This is how I started to get off of that hot mess express that we talked about yesterday. So let's talk about how the non-essentialists and the essentialists think. So the non-essentialist, the person who is doing everything and says yes to everything and has no boundaries and is kind of a doormat, been there, like you let everyone walk all over you. This is what, when you're in that space, this is what this type of person thinks. And I've been there, okay? All things to all people. This is what they think. I have to be all things to all people. And this relates to business and life as well. In your personal life, do you have a hard time saying no? Well, I guarantee you that is pouring over into your business, and you're working way harder than you have to because you can't say no. Been there, done that. So some of the quotes that people are thinking as a non-essentialist are, I have to do X. It's all important. How can I fit it all in? So the non-essentialist thinks everything is important, which by default means nothing is important. Write that down. If you think everything is important, then by default you think nothing is important, because everything cannot be important, you guys. The importance loses its potency when everything is important, okay? I have a little example. So my youngest son, he asked me to do something, and I say maybe a lot. Because I'm like, I don't want to commit. I'm not all loosey-goosey with my yeses, and I will say no more, even in my personal. This is key. That's a gem for you right there. But my son, I tell him maybe a lot. And Sunday, I told him, he asked me something, and I was like, maybe. And I had no intent. I just was like, maybe I will, but I probably won't, but I'm going to tell him maybe. And then 2 hours later, I was like, okay, Alex, go get dressed. We're going to do da-da-da-da. He was like, what? You said maybe. I thought that was a no. I was like, see? If I would say yes to everything, then nothing would be special. But because I am selective with my yeses, the yeses are actually special. And he, as a 10-year-old, was like, that makes a lot of sense. So how can you incorporate some of that into your business, your day-to-day, your life, everything? Why are we saying yes? Why is everything important? It's not. Let's really focus on the things that actually are important. So let's look at, what does the essentialist think? So the essentialist is that person who understands everything is not important, and I have my main key things that I'm going to focus on, and that's it, okay? Be selective with your yeses. Absolutely. You should be saying no more than you say yes, because when you say yes, you are subsequently saying no to something else, okay? So the essentialist thinks less but better. So I'm gonna do less stuff, but because I'm not doing a lot of crap, I'm gonna do this one thing really, 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 really well. And guess what happens when you do one thing really, 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 really well? You get to be an expert, and you get to charge like an expert. Okay? Who here wants to charge like an expert? Who here wants to be like, yes, I'm an expert, so no, I'm not gonna do that? Are you bold enough to say that in your business? Are you bold enough to say that in your life? This is where it starts, okay? All right, so that essentialist is thinking less but better. So their approach is, I choose to, okay? A choice is not a thing, right? Choices are not things. Choices are actions. That's from this book too. Choices are actions. So what are your choices going to be? Are you choosing the thing that is actually going to move you forward, or are you focusing on everything, and is it keeping you stuck? Guys, it's all in our mind. Woo, if you can get a hold of your mind, everything will change, okay? So the essentialist also thinks only a few things matter. Only a few things matter. That is so true. I want you to think about. I'm going to give you another example. we have a choice when things happen. So for example, I was coming back home from dropping Alex off at the bus stop. Well, actually the bus didn't come this morning, so he was back with me. So there was a guy in our subdivision. Like, I don't know why people just, it's very hard to get through the streets because it's so many cars. Well, there was this truck coming through with a big ass U-Haul trailer on the back, and he didn't want to he was right here, and my house was right here, and I was right here, and he had to go through a bunch of cars, and he didn't want to stop because, like, you know, it's early in the morning, he in a rush, whatever. I had a choice this morning. Do I want to get upset because this a-hole want to be all, you know, greedy with the road and not let me in? Or do I just want to be like, whatever, it doesn't matter, it's not worth my energy, and keep it moving? A lot of times we will let one little thing that happens to us, we will choose to let it consume us for an entire day. That could have messed up my whole day, y'all. I could have been like, people suck, like they just, you know, they don't care about anyone but themselves. All kinds of like things could have went through my head, and I could have had a horrible day because of that one event. But I chose an action, which was to not dwell on the fact that the guy was a jerk this morning, but to be like, you know what? Who cares? I wasn't in a hurry anyways. I was going to my house. It's not like I was about to be late for anything. What are you going to choose to focus on? That can be the difference. Are you going to focus on non-essential things? Shit that don't matter? Or are you going to focus on essential stuff that's going to move the needle forward, okay? So another thought from the Essentialist is, what are the trade-offs, okay? So I want you to think about, as you're deciding, okay, and you're making decisions in life or in business, is this going to help me do Y? Is X going to help me do Y? And you want to think about, what does you saying yes, like what are you subsequently saying no to? Okay, because your yeses, you only have so many yeses because you only have so much time, right? We're all limited by time every single day. So when you're saying yes to something like a bad client because you need the money, you know they're not a good client, you're also saying no to that good client because you're going to be full of bad clients because you made decisions reactively because you needed some money. You were in a scarcity lack mindset. So you close yourself out for the yes for when the right person comes along. Okay, so what is the trade-off? When you say yes, what are you trading off that you have to say no to? When you say no, what are you trading off that you have to say yes to? Okay, all of this stuff matters. So those are the different ways that people think. So let's look at then, so this is how essentialist, non-essentialist thinks. What does an essentialist versus a non-essentialist do? So do their actions, right? So the non-essentialist, who thinks everything is important, the undisciplined pursuit of more. The person who thinks everything is important, they are always searching for more. So if you're in information overload, this is exactly what I'm talking about, okay? You're constantly searching for more because there's no real focus, all right? So what does that mean? Reacts to what is most pressing. That example I just gave you, a client comes, you know they're not going to be a good fit. They're going to stress you the F out. They're already asking for a discount. They don't know what they want, but you say yes anyways. You're reacting because you need some money. And then you're going to have to pay. There's consequences for that, you guys. So we have a choice every single day. Are we going to make essential decisions? Or are we going to make non-essential decisions? Are we going to stay stuck? Or are we going to grow? Are we going to strategically get to the place where we're trying to go, okay? So also the non-essentialists, this is what they do. They say yes to people without really thinking. My husband, Aaron, he does this a lot. Love him. He's the sweetest person in the world. He'll say yes and then be like, damn, I don't want to do that. You ever done that before? I used to do that all the time too. People pleasing, no. Be selective with your yeses, okay? Because it's keeping you away from the things you actually should be focusing on. Then the last one, tries to force execution at the last moment. So because they're doing all the things, they didn't really have a plan and nothing happened. So at the last minute, you're scrambling, trying to get stuff done because you said yes to too much stuff. That's non-essentialism thinking, okay? So let's look at, what does the essentialist think? Well, we already did think. What do they do? So these are actions. So the essentialist, their approach is the disciplined pursuit of less. Guys, let's look at it this way as well. If you're a designer, if you have 10 clients at one time versus if you have one client at one time paying you the same amount that those 10 people would pay, guess what? That one person who paid you a lot of money, you're going to be able to focus on them and you're going to be able to get them amazing results because you're not scrambling around trying to fulfill 9 other design project orders, right? So we're doing things to ourselves when we say yes. But is that yes getting us closer to where we want to be? We need to think about these things because this is the difference between being on the Hot Mess Express and not. Okay? So let's move to the last one. So we looked at essentialist versus non-essentialist. How do they think? Number one. What do they do? So what are their actions? Now, from the way they think, they take an action and the action leads to the result. So let's look at the results that essentialists get versus non-essentialists. So I'm going to start with the non-essentialists. Everything is important. So they're doing all the things. They're reactive. As a result, as a result, they live a life that does not satisfy. Lives a life that does not satisfy. Nobody wants that, you guys. Nobody wants that. So let's look at the result. So takes on too much and work suffers. Literally just said that. Taking on 10, 20 clients. You cannot handle 10, 20 clients. So they're stressing you out because they're like, where's my stuff? Or you got 1,000,001 revisions because you do unlimited revisions for everybody. You got 10 clients, unlimited revisions. You ain't never gonna sleep. So your work suffers, your life suffers, your health suffers, your mental suffers, your weight suffers, your hair suffers because it probably gonna fall out because you stress the F out. All because everything is important. We have to change our thoughts. We have to change our beliefs. We have to, most importantly, change our actions, okay? As a result, they feel out of control. They are unsure whether the right things are getting done, and they feel overwhelmed and exhausted. So if you feel any of that, if that's the result that you're getting in your business, you need to switch from the non-essentialism approach to the essentialism approach, okay? So let's look at what does the essentialist get, because they know they're very selective in their yeses. They're focusing on only what matters. They live a life that really matters. Y'all literally just came out the book. Okay? So here's what they get. They get to choose carefully in order to do great work. So they're saying no to clients who they know they're not going to produce great work for, or that they're not even excited. How many of y'all taking on projects that you're not excited about and it sucks the life out of you the same way your old job used to? But now it's in your own business. We're creating environments that we were trying to escape in our own businesses, and then it leaks over into our lives, okay? The essentialist feels in control. They get the right things done, and they experience joy in the journey. If this process of growing your business is dreadful, we got to change something, because you can't operate a successful business out of dread and out of lack and scarcity and just really a negative like space or a state or lack of control, really. Because when your clients run everything, you have no control in your business, which means you have no structure, which means you'll never have consistency. Consistency within the results you get, consistency in the money that you make, and just consistency in the lifestyle that you're able to create as well. Because whether you know it or not, you are creating a lifestyle for yourself right now with your business. And it's either consuming all of your time or it's creating space for you to enjoy life and enjoy the journey and to just enjoy this experience. Because something else I teach to my students is that every experience that you have gone through literally helps mold and shape you into who you are and an expert. Okay? So, I'm like right at my 30 minutes. I'm going to try to stay to 30 minutes every day. So I didn't go through my quotes that I liked. They're on my last post. I think, though, after just kind of hearing the difference between essentialist and a non-essentialist, I would love for you guys to go look at my top 7 quotes from the book and let me know, like, where do you need to kind of refocus, like reposition your focus? And let that guide you for the rest of the month, right? Like, you have a choice today to change the rest of your life. And it all starts with what you choose to focus on, what you choose to react to, how you choose to react, okay? What you let other people's thoughts and opinions do in your own life. You have a choice. And like I said yesterday, nothing has meaning until you give it meaning. Nothing is good, nothing is bad, nothing is a success, or nothing is a failure until you deem it as such. Okay? And the beautiful thing is you're in control of all of that. You are in control of your success. You are in control of your failure. Because if you think something is a failure, then you're in control of that, right? Like, if, like we talked about this with my students earlier this week, because Black Friday just passed, right? So a lot of times we'll do something and it doesn't necessarily get the result that we want, so we deem it a failure. But really, if you understand what is essential and understand what to look at as it relates to your results that you got, you can actually analyze and understand what to do next time, because you're focusing on the right information. You might not have got any sales, but what did you learn from it? That launch or that promotion or whatever you did for Black Friday, it taught you something. Are you going to take it to the next launch and do better than next time? Like, we have choices, guys. We have choices, and we have to choose what we're going to focus on. What are we going to focus on? Essential things or non-essential things? Things that are going to move the needle forward or not? How are we going to look at and how are we going to interpret the data that's right in front of us? Are you guys even looking at your Instagram data when you post something? Do you know how to interpret that stuff? Do you know how to read it so that you understand what's important and what's working, so that you do more of that and less of what doesn't work? A lot of us don't do that. We just throw spaghetti at the wall and we're okay with whatever sticks. Cool. What falls to the ground? Cool. Your road to your goals is going to be long if that's your approach. Okay? So, I am going to give away a copy of this book tomorrow on my live. It'll be the same time, 10 a.m. Central. So if you would like to be in the drawing, DM me the word book. Okay? And I'll put you in the drawing, and I'll do the drawing live tomorrow on the replay, and then I'll probably just do an Amazon purchase or something. Send you guys the book. But that is, I'm gonna stop here so I don't go too long, but that is day 2 of our 30-day content challenge. I see you guys who have accepted the challenge. Y'all are tagging me. I love that. I'm so excited for just what the next 30 days can create. And then I want you to focus on the right things, guys. Don't get discouraged because you didn't get a number of likes or a number of comments or whatever. Let's look at the right data. Let's look at the right insight so that we're making choices from the data and not from our emotions and our feelings and what we think it means, because it only means what you think it means because you said it meant that thing. Okay, so tomorrow I will be back here. I haven't decided on my topic just yet, so if you have some suggestions or ideas, feel free to DM me. If you are a designer and you are ready to kind of just get off of that non-essentialist way of thinking, saying yes to everything, being a people pleaser, not showing up as an expert, no consistency, no structure in your business, if that's where you are and you're ready to jump ship, get off that hot mess express, there's a training in the link in my bio. It's free. Definitely check that out, because mindset is key, and I have 3 core mistakes that designers are making in their business that is keeping them in this non-essential struggle, hot mess express, all the things. So if you're ready to get some consistency, definitely go check that out. And I will see you guys back here tomorrow at the same time, same place. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me today. Bye, guys.